I was just talking about it earlier, is that's what you got to play in, right? So the ability to adapt and overcome, and not only just like, how do I want to say it? You want to make it your own advantage, right? It's an advantage to punt in this kind of weather, especially when you're playing in challenging games late in the season. You want to have the upper hand in field position, right? So I think growing up in this environment, being an Ohio guy and then moving further north, right, was definitely I think, beneficial for me in my career. But yeah, it was definitely challenging weather and it was fun.
Can you describe how you make it your advantage? I see where you're going along the lines of that, but how do you use weather to your advantage?
Yeah. So kind of talking about it, growing up in it, just going into like the technicalities,
Yeah.
uh, with different kind of winds, crosswinds, weather. There's different kind of ways you got to drop it in order to maximize like hang and distance, right? So the ability to understand that is like definitely something you need to understand, right? So growing up in this environment, I kind of have, just in my mind, I feel like that's been a strong suit of mine, is the ability to kind of learn and be able to adapt and adjust in these kind of conditions and perform at my best.
I know technically Darren Simmons pays attention to all of that through and through. How many questions did he ask you about that? Because I think you're a more technical punter than at
Yeah,
least some of the guys we've talked to in the past.
yeah, definitely. I like the way he approaches the game. I love the way he approaches punting. Um, Definitely a very technical guy and particular about certain stuff, right? And I could use that to my advantage as well, right? Being able to just be a sponge in this environment, right? I'm fortunate to be in this environment. One of three punters selected this year in the draft, right? And there's two ways you could go about it. You could come in here just thinking like you know it all, and I know what to do. I got this far. I can do it myself. Or you can approach it the sponge way, right? So that's how I want to approach it, and just really be coachable to everybody, and players, coaches, everybody, and kind of emulate what they want to see out of a punter and out of a player, right? And just be able to help the team in any way I can.
Do you believe in like there's a certain mentality needed, whether it's college, Division 1, or the NFL, to handle pressure situations?
Yeah. Kind of dating back. So you ate baseball, right? Every good story starts with something like that. So I was a closing pitcher like my whole life. I pitched, I played middle infield, all that kind of stuff. I thought I was going to be a baseball player. So my mentality, I feel like, which is a strong suit of mine, is just that closing pitcher mentality. I'm used to having the team depending on me. I have very few reps, right? Maybe one or two innings. Teams depending on me late in a game, right? The ability to kind of close the door and put the foot down and understand like I need to execute this and I only have limited opportunity has been ingrained in me since I was an 8-year old. So, you know, narrowing it down from four sports as a four-sport guy to just punting, I feel like that mentality has helped me a lot. Also picked up golf, right? So a lot of books you read about golf just talk about the process over outcome type stuff, right? So um, that's something I had to learn in college, and I'm still continuing to learn. Right, definitely process-oriented thinking versus outcome. So rather than thinking about, all right, I need to do this in this situation, it's like, well, I've hit this punt, you know, 10,000 times before. Really, all I think about is like my process, like, hey, short steps, eyes down, all that kind of stuff, rather than I need to do this, I need to hit this ball, right?
Have
So
you
yeah.
had conversations with Darren about that? Because that seems like a conversation he would embrace.
Sure, there's many more conversations to come about that. We definitely talked about today picking our lines, and I picked his brain about, hey, what do you think about instead of picking a target, kind of lining something up in the stands with like a target, and then like putting, picking something on the ground about 3 feet in front of you that you want to walk to instead of like trying to think about walking to like a high up object, right? And that's kind of a similarity you can bring from like golf into punting. And he's like, oh, I thought about that. That's actually a really good thought process. So, yeah, no, it's definitely. I like the way he approaches the game, and I think we'll have a lot more, in-depth conversations about that kind of stuff.
Have you talked to Drue Chrisman since he got here?
Yeah, he's one of my good buddies actually. So he went to. I'm from Columbus. He went to Ohio State. He was a year above me, and was on scholarship and was getting ready to play. And their special teams coordinator at the time, he told me like, "Hey, Drew's on scholarship. You can come walk on here if you want." And I probably still wouldn't have seen the field until he left, right? Um, but yeah, he actually called me on my way up to Ann Arbor, the special teams coordinator at that point, and I was like, yeah, I'm actually heading up to Ann Arbor and got a scholarship offer up this way. So and the conversation shifted and all that kind of stuff. But me and Drue have known each other for a long time, and he's one of my favorite people, nicest guy in the world, and you know, just excited to be around him and learn from him too.
Is it kind of crazy crossing paths with him now when you guys almost could have been on the same team if you didn't walk on at Ohio State? Is it kind of surreal in some ways?
Yeah, definitely. And to me, he's just, yeah, like I said, he's one of my good buddies, right? So, um, I've looked up to him in a way. I feel like that's pretty cool, and I'm really excited to just get to work with him and all the other guys too.
And